Boom, I'm back in the room. Well, what can I say? Gonna have a little bit of a chat this morning about the current state of affairs. Have you seen what's going on in this country at the moment? We've got a new Prime Minister this morning. He's promising all sorts. Is he going to deliver? I don't know. Will he deliver? Now, the Duchess, she says to me this morning, she said, did you know that today is World Pasta Day? Guess what? Pasta's gone up 60% today. You couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make it up. So, that's the state of affairs. They have a World Pasta Day and then they put the price of pasta up. You couldn't make it up. What else is going up? I mean, everything's going up apparently. Apparently everything is going up. Apart from my pension, obviously. They're not putting my pension up, and I don't suppose they're putting much of your pension up. They're putting taxes up. He said, actually, he's the one Prime Minister since the war that's put up taxes 15 times. This is a Conservative government that's clearly not what it says on the tin. They're not a low tax party. They're not a low growth party. I mean, the last Prime Minister, Liz Truss, she put together a bit of a budget that nobody liked. Well, I think the vast majority of the public liked it, but the bankers and all that didn't like it because they're the ones that shook the market, weren't they? That crashed the pound for a day. And you can bet your bottom dollar somebody made a huge amount of money out of trading the pound. It certainly wasn't me. Where do we go? I mean, what's going to happen? Well, I think we've got a general election coming and it ain't too far away. I think that the country needs to look at itself. We all know that the Labour Party aren't fit to run a bath. And Starmer, well, he's about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. Lots and lots of Conservatives have jumped ship. Some of them have gone to Labour. Why? Why? A lot of them are jumping ship and going to Reform UK. I can see the point in that. I can see the point in going to Reform UK. If you have a look at what they stand for, look at their manifesto, they've got a lot of stuff. I should change my glasses. I'll change my glasses and then I'll change the scene. So Reform UK, I'm a paid up member. Put my hand up. I am a paid up member of the Reform UK party. I've been to both of their national conferences and I like what I'm hearing. They've got clear policies on the economy. They've got clear policies on getting down the waiting list in the NHS and solving that problem. It's not about chucking more money at the NHS. That doesn't solve it. Did you know that 48% of the wage budget goes on non-clinical staff? Yep, you heard me right. 48% of the tax budget goes on non-clinical staff. You couldn't make that up. That's the problem with the NHS. There's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. and they need to turn it round. Who we got? Diggs. Diggs. BTW7. Good morning. Or should I say, no, it's good afternoon. We're in the afternoon already of the dawning of a new Prime Minister. I watched his speech just now. Could have written it myself. You could see what he's saying. Not sure whether it's going to work or not, to be honest. I'm not sure whether he'll pull it off. I mean, he's been coronated rather than elected by the membership. Now, I've got a theory. I would like to see Nigel Farage join Reform UK, because he used to be the leader of what was the Brexit Party. Now, if he comes back into the party as a candidate to stand in down in his Kent constituency, I think there's a good chance that Reform UK will form the next government after the general election. And we get a few big hitters like Nigel. Richard Tice, I think, is the man to lead us into it. He's got charisma. He's got a clear vision. He's been a businessman. He understands. Dr. David Ball has got a clear vision of how to sort the NHS out, how to get down the waiting lists. It's coming. And I think even if we don't get proportional representation and say, oh, it's just a two-party. No, it ain't just a two-party. I think if enough people have faith and put their cross in Reform UK box when it comes, they'll get in. We all know the Conservatives are just about done. I mean, they've I mean, Sunak's fitted bayonets and he's stabbed Boris Johnson in the back, and he's done the same with Truss. Can you trust him? I don't think you can. And there's an awful lot of them that were with him on that. An awful lot of them got the long knives out and started stabbing each other in the back. I'm not sure they can pull this back, to be honest. I'm not sure it'll unite the party. And I don't think it'll unite the country, to be honest. I can't see it happening. I can't see it coming. But this morning I thought I'd just chuck in my 2 penny worth because I can. I have a platform. So, if you like what I do, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost nothing. And because there's nothing else on the telly, I have some good stuff. We've got a quiz coming tonight. It's a good quiz. We've got another quiz coming next Monday, which is Halloween. It's going to be a Halloween themed quiz. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm even going to dress up. I'm going to dress the backdrop. We're going to have some fun. Goes at 9 o'clock. So we'll do 9 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock Monday, and 9 o'clock next Tuesday, because I've got another quiz lined up for next week. And it's just about having a bit of fun, because there's nothing else on the telly. And it gets the old grey matter going. So if you're good at quizzes, if you're no good at quizzes, have a go. You know it makes sense. You know you want to. So join us tonight. So if you do subscribe to the channel on YouTube, you can also click that bell icon and that will notify you when I do go live. You can always set a reminder. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and we're on Twitch. I don't know how it looks on Twitch and Twitter, but we go out on those platforms as well. But it's all about having a bit of fun. And then we get a little bit more serious on a Thursday, because we talk about taboo subjects on a Thursday. And I haven't sorted this week's out. I've got the next 3 weeks sorted out. I've got fighter pilots coming next week. I've got firefighters coming the following week. And I've got service dogs for PTSD the following week. So this week I might do a little bit of a wash up of the last few weeks, get a few guests on just to recap on some of the stuff we've talked about. We've talked about bereavement recently. We've talked about normalising or destigmatising suicide. We've talked about men's problems. We're talking about prostate cancer. We've talked about the female menopause and the effect that has, and the effect that it has on men as well. So we'd like to challenge these taboo subjects, and we're trying to normalise the conversation around it. I mean, take death. How many people talk to their nearest and dearest about what happens when they die? What sort of funeral they'd like? What sort of music they like at the funeral? What sort of who they want to do the eulogy? That sort of thing. So we're trying to make that conversation normal. We also want to talk about the bereavement process and going through that and helping people to give them an understanding of what to expect. Just being buzzed by a Spitfire. We have a Spitfire based out of Daedalus, or used to be HMS Daedalus, and it flies over the house quite regularly. Normally when I'm doing a live stream. but yes, it's all about having fun and having a different platform. So, because there's nothing else on the telly, you might as well have a listen to me, because I mean, I get some really fascinating people on. I have had some terrific guests. I also have a podcast. I don't know whether you know about my podcast, but it's Ordinary People's Extraordinary Stories. And there's 100 odd people I've done. And they've been fascinating people, really have. And I've got 2 episodes go out a week. And at the moment, the last one's going out on the 28th of December. So there'll be a new release tomorrow morning. So 6 o'clock on a Wednesday morning and 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning is a release of the podcasts. And they're not only just on the podcast apps where you can listen to them, they're also on YouTube, so you can see and watch who I've interviewed. So feel free to subscribe to that and listen. It's on across all the podcast apps. So if you're driving in the car and there's only rubbish on the radio, you can stick a podcast on and listen to my fascinating guests. I have talked to some really, really fascinating people. What else is occurring? Well, apart from the political situation, the dire political situation that we see ourselves in at the moment, and are we going to get out of it anytime soon? I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds the next few weeks, and see whether it's going to come right or it's going to get worse. Personally, I think it'll probably get worse before it gets better. I think we're in for a rough old time, to be honest. Yeah. Life's difficult for the best of it. for all of us. For all of us. I mean, millionaires, do they bother? Do they care? Does it make a difference to them whether they lose a few £1,000? I saw a stat the other day saying that it costs Richie Sunak a week of electric that the average household pays in a year just to heat his bloody swimming pool. Heat up his swimming pool for a week, and most people pay that for a year. So he doesn't care, does he? He's not bothered whether the cost of living goes up. His wife, she's a billionaire. She's also got non-dom status, so she doesn't pay no tax here. It's good of her. Now she's going to be living at the taxpayer's expense in Downing Street. Yep. Mind you, they were living in number 11, weren't they? Already. So, well, they were, till they got kicked out. And then they're back in. Oh, I don't know, I'm just having a good rant this morning. Because I can. Because I'll do that. Sometimes I just like to vent it. Just get it off my chest. Get it off my chesticles. But, I mean, did you see that silly moo on the BBC the other night? I didn't see it personally, but I've seen the clips of it now. She jumped with joy, with glee, because Boris Johnson had stood down. This is from the BBC that we fund. We pay their wages. We don't expect the BBC to show that sort of attitude. We expect a non-biased BBC to give us the news. They don't give us the news anymore, do they? Let's face it, the BBC doesn't give us the news anymore. What they give us is their opinion. If we want somebody to give our opinion, we'll go and watch Talk TV. We'll go and watch people that are paid to do it. We don't want our licence fee wasted on these opinionated so-called broadcasters dictating to us, giving us their bias. Personally, I say we should defund the BBC and it should become a subscription model, or it should go to advertising, the same as the others. If they truly believe that their content is great, what they're producing is brilliant, then it should be able to stand on its own 2 feet. It shouldn't get, what is it, £3 billion a year from the taxpayer? That's what they get. Around about £3 billion a year from the taxpayer. Now, if you look at the BBC, there's got subsidiaries like BBC Studios. Now, they don't come under the BBC. They're the ones that have advertising when they sell the programmes that we've paid for. They're the ones that push it around the world and get advertising and sales from it. But that doesn't go into the licence fee. That doesn't go into making new programmes. No, that goes in the pockets of the shareholders of BBC Studios. It's us mugs that are paying for it all. But there you go. You couldn't make that stuff up either. So, I'm hoping this is working, because I can see it's working, and hopefully it is working. Anyway, I think I've rattled on enough today. But that's my little take on it. I don't know what's going to happen. Is my pension going to be affected? Probably. I'm already on a reduced pension because apparently I haven't paid in enough because I don't work, I'm retired. But I retired early because I got to 60 and the army don't employ you much after 60 anyway. So I had to retire. And I'm not, underneath this gorgeous exterior, there's an absolute train wreck. And I don't think I could get up every day and go out to work. Just, it's not going to happen. I struggle some mornings just even getting out of bed. Other mornings, I'm not too bad. Some mornings I have to stay in bed all day because I'm in such pain. But that's what rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis does for you. But there you go. Anyway, enough about me. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Do you support the new government? Or do you, like the rest of us, want to see the general election come sooner rather than later? I think give a new party a chance. One that's got some clear positive policies. So, without further ado, thank you for indulging me this morning, or this afternoon even, and I'll see you this evening for the quiz. And there'll be some more tonight. It won't be political tonight, it'll just be the quiz and some fun facts. So until then, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Oh, got another screen. What happened there? I've got to go this one. So, what do you think to the backdrop? Does it look good? Au revoir.